I tried Rose Sparks for 30 days. And I need to be honest with you about something most guys reviewing this product completely skip over. It's not that Rose Sparks does not work. It's that the way it works should make you ask much more questions before ever ordering it. I tracked every dose, every side effect, every result over a full month. I also dug into the actual ingredient stack, the dosing science, and what doctors are saying about combining these compounds at these levels. What I found changed what I actually use now, and it will probably change what you decide to order too. Real quick, before we get into it, if you're already in research mode and you want to skip straight to what I switched to after this experiment, the link is in the description. It is a better product. There is a discount on your first order, and I will explain exactly why I made the switch by the end of this video. Here is what I'm covering today. 3 things Rose Sparks actually does well, 2 things that are genuinely concerning about it, and the 1 thing I found that fixes every problem Rose Sparks has without the downsides. Stick around because the last part is the reason I made this video. So, what is Rose Sparks? Rose Sparks is a sublingual lozenge for erectile dysfunction made by Roman, the man's telehealth brand. You dissolve it under your tongue for about 10 to 15 minutes before sex. Each lozenge contains 55 milligrams of Sildenafil, which is the generic name for Viagra, and 22 milligrams of Tadalafil, which is the generic name for Cialis. Roman was one of the first companies to combine both of these 2 ingredients in a single dose. The sublingual delivery is supposed to kick in faster than regular pills because it bypasses your digestive system and goes straight into your bloodstream. On paper, that sounds like a smart upgrade. In practice, there are some things you'll need to understand before putting it under your tongue. I'm going to be fair here because a good Rose Sparks review has to be honest in both directions. I felt the effects in about 20 to 25 minutes. That's a real improvement over swallowing a tablet and waiting 45 minutes to an hour. For spontaneous situations, that speed matters. Because Tadalafil has a long half-life, the effects carried well into the next day. That extended window is useful if you don't want to be watching the clock. If you are dealing with ED, Rose Sparks will likely deliver on its basic promises. Blood flow improves, performance improves, and most guys will notice a real difference. So, yes, it works, but here is where the Rose Sparks review gets complicated. Problem 1. The dose is not aggressive for most men. 55 milligrams of Sildenafil plus 22 milligrams of Tadalafil in a single lozenge is a significant amount of medication. A doctor reviewing this product put it in plainly, most men do not need most of these combined. The average guy does well on one or the other. When you stack them together at these doses, you are dramatically increasing your side effects. Exposure without necessarily getting better results. You are not getting a smarter formula, you are just getting more of the same 2 drugs. Here is what I personally experienced and what multiple other users have reported. Stuffy nose so severe it was difficult to breathe through the night, red watery eyes that were noticeable for hours, a tension headache that lingered well after the effects wore off, a prolonged erection that went past the point of being useful and becoming genuinely uncomfortable. I took half a lozenge my first time, and it was still too much. Multiple guys who have reviewed this product said the same things. One person said they wouldn't take even half next time, they would take a quarter. That is not a sign of a well-calibrated product. That is a sign of a product that is overdosed for average users. This is the gap nobody in Rose Sparks review ever talks about. Sildenafil and Tadalafil are both PDE5 inhibitors. They work on blood flow, they dilate blood vessels, and they increase your circulation in your penis. But erections is not just a plumbing problem. It starts in the brain. Arousal, dopamine signals, the neurological triggers that initiates the whole process. Rosparks does not touch any of that. It just floods your system with the 2 vascular drugs at high doses in hopes the blood flow does the job. For a lot of men, especially men dealing with the performance anxiety and low arousal, this is only solving half of the problem. Let me be direct. Con 1, the taste, it's bad. It is a strong medicinal flavor that is hard to get through. If you've used Blue Chew with a mint flavor, this is a completely different experience and not in a good way. Con 2, the dose is not adjustable. You get 1 lozenge that is 1 fixed dose. If it is too strong, you're cutting it yourself and guessing the fractions of the prescription medication. That is not how you want to be managing a drug at this potency level. Con 3, it is a compound product. It is made in FDA regulated pharmacies and requires a prescription, but the finished product itself has not gone through FDA reviews for safety and efficacy as a branded drug. That is worth knowing before you commit. Here is who Rosparks might actually make sense for: older men or men with diabetes who have not responded to Sildenafil or Tadalafil alone, men with more severe ED who have already tried single agent treatments without success, men whose doctors have specifically recommended a combining high dose approach. Here is who should skip it: younger men looking for a performance boost, men who are sensitive to side effects from ED medications, anyone dealing with performance anxiety or arousal issues, because this product does not address that at all. And honestly, anyone who has not tried a smarter, more complete option first. After 30 days with Rosparks, I went looking for something that actually solved the full problem. And I found it. And it's called Rugiet Ready. And it is built completely differently. Here is what makes Rugiet Ready different from everything else on the market, including Rosparks. Ready is also a sublingual troche, so you still get that fast onset delivery, but instead of just stacking 2 PDE5 inhibitors at a high dose, Rugiet adds in a 3rd ingredient, apomorphine. Apomorphine is a dopamine agonist. It activates arousal pathways in the brain and supports dopamine signals at D2 receptors. In plain English, it primes the neurological trigger for an erection before the vascular side even kicks in. So you are addressing both the brain and the body at the same time. That is a gap Rosparks completely ignores. And here is the part that actually matters for side effects, because Rugiet uses a 3-compound approach. Those doses of each individual ingredients can be calibrated more precisely. You are not just maxing out Sildenafil and Tadalafil and hoping for the best. You are getting a formula that works smarter, not just harder. The onset is about 15 minutes after the troche dissolvables under your tongue. The effect window runs roughly 24 to 36 hours, driven by Tadalafil long half-life, and because Rugiet operates as a telehealth platform with board-certified physicians, your dose is personalized to you specifically. Not a one-size-fits-all lozenge, a prescription calibrated to your health profile. The process is straightforward. You complete a 5-minute online health assessment. A licensed doctor reviews it and determines if you're a good candidate. If approved, your custom dose is combined and shipped discreetly to your door in 4 to 7 days. No in-person visits, no awkward pharmacy counters, no consultation, prescription, and the follow-up message with your doctor are all included in the cost. This is what the modern ED solution should look like. Not just more milligrams of the same 2 drugs, a complete formula that targets the full mechanism of how erections actually work. So here's the honest Rose Sparks review after 30 days. It works, but it works bluntly. High dose, significant side effects, no brain component, and no personalization. For most guys searching for a Rose Sparks review, this product is more than you need and less than you deserve. Rugiet Ready is the smarter answer. It uses the same sublingual delivery, adds the Apomorphine brain arousal component that Rose Sparks is missing, and it gives you a personalized dose instead of a fixed overdose. After everything I tested, Ready is what I kept coming back to, and it is what I would recommend to any guy who is serious about solving this in the right way. If you want to try Rugiet, there's a link in the description. There is a discount on your first order, so you don't have to pay full price. Grab the link before you check out. The fact that it targets both the brain and the body in the one sublingual trochet is something no other product on the market is doing at this level. Once I felt the difference, Rose Sparks was done for me.